Come on, let's do it.
It's 10:30. I haven't had a bite yet. I've been out here since 7 a.m. Time for breakfast. Alright, I told you guys a few weeks ago we're going to be spending more time out here for the remainder of the summer and probably into fall. And we're going to grab something today for breakfast. Swiss chard. Just doing really well. I seeded it right in this corner. I knew it would do well. Got my scissors here. So this is going to be for breakfast, a nice savory breakfast. I'll show you what we're going to do. And there's that cucumber. And I just pulled a bunch of shishito, which are also going nuts. Those are not for the show. And maybe I'll take just a small handful of those and throw them on the griddle while we're making breakfast. Have them as a pre-breakfast snack. Now we don't need a lot. We get some of these outer leaves. The beauty of the chard is it grows right through the heat. So when your lettuces are done, this grows right through the summer. Now I'm going to get the outer leaves. They have some holes in them, but that's fine because we're going to chop them and cook them. And that allows airflow for the healthier leaves, which I'm doing all morning to the tomatoes. I've been cleaning out diseased leaves, letting air and light into the plant while those tomatoes are on the vine. I'm going to get quite a few because, as you know with spinach and stuff, when you saute, they cook down to almost nothing. So let's get quite a few. And that'll really give these plants something to continue growing with the air and the light. Get some from each plant, so we don't stress each one too much. Alright, I think we're good. Let's bring it on into the kitchen. Whew! 5 after 11. Haven't even eaten yet. I'm not doing that hardcore intermittent stuff or anything, but I am trying to close down the eating window a little bit. So here's the Swiss chard. I'm going to wash it all up, and this will not be part of the show, but we're going to cook the chard in this cast iron here. Hold on. I just washed all these. Sometimes right after you wash them, there you go. I don't know, they were well dried. I think the cast iron pan was choking off the propane. Alright, I'm going to wash everything up, but I'm heating this up first because I'm hungry, man. I'm just going to have 5 or 6 of those shishito. I'm just going to blister them off in this pan before we start the chard in there. So I'll wash, dry, see you back here at the stove. Okay. Get these shishito off. I just did them in a dry cast iron, and now I'm turning it off because it needs to cool down before we put our aromatics in there. I don't want to burn. We're going to use some garlic. But now I have these to snack on while I prep the other stuff. A little lemon, a couple grains of salt. I've been eating these a couple times a week. The plants are just going crazy. Started from seed back in late winter, maybe March or late Feb. And transplanted a little bit before Memorial Day, which I'm finding with the tomatoes and eggplant and stuff was too early this year. Oh man. I cut these off the plant like 10 minutes before we came in. Alright. I'll snack on those. I'm not going to bore you guys. I want to get to the frying pan. I'm going to chop up our chard. It's washed, spun out. I've got one of those French red shallots that I'm just loving. We got this year's garlic. I don't remember what this was. Maybe music. I don't remember what the purple one was. And despite things being late, a couple of little chilies have been ripening. So, all 2025 ground to face. I'll get prepped up. See you back over at the cast iron. Let's get this breakfast, or I guess brunch. Who knows? Lunch? It's almost 11:30. But let's get it started. The Berrio Extra. I had turned this off so it cooled down a little, but it's still quite hot. Oh, it's not even sizzling. All right. Let's start with the French red shallot. And I'm loving these because I told you I grew the Dutch gray, which is considered a true shallot. This French red is more sort of oniony. So it's great. I can start this with the garlic, and it's like onion and garlic. It has a slight shallot tinge, but the French gray is a true shallot. So nice to have the option, the combos. Give that just a second before I add the garlic. Can't tell you what this aroma is like. Fresh produce, gang. Ground to face. Let's put in our 2025 purple garlic. Let that release some fragrance, and then we'll put the chard in. All right, Swiss chard, fresh picked, cut I should say, as opposed to picked, because they'll just continue growing right into the fall. It's going to reduce down a good amount to start. Okay, I think this is a job for the tongs. I chopped the stems and everything. Now let's season this up a little first. The shallot, the garlic, the extra virgin oil, beautiful. All right, salt, going with the Sicilian chili salt. Beautiful gift. Black pepper. And I thought about maybe some herb seasoning, but I think I'm going to hold off and just let the chard shine once you see what we're going to do with it. Let's see how the salt can take a piece of skin. Greens love salt. A little kosher. Now, red wine vinegar. A little bit of lemon juice just because it's on the counter. Time to use it up before it starts to get some mold on it. And we'll get that in the compost. And between the vinegar and the lemon, there's our cooking liquid. You know, you could add a little bit of chicken stock. I have the ice cubes in there. I think this is going to be all liquid. So we're going to let this simmer for a few minutes. I'll set up over on the board and I'll show you what we're going to do over there. Okay? Back over to the board with me. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
All right, I got the workhorse out. Why? We're going to puree this chard now. That's why I didn't worry too much about how I chopped the stems. I just got everything finely chopped enough to saute. And now let's give it a whiz. First I'm going to add, I forgot to get Parmigiano Reggiano. It was on my shopping, well, it wasn't on my shopping list. See if I don't write it down. So I'm going to use what little bit I have in here. Should be enough, but I meant to get a replacement. Or Locatelli. I like to always have a hard cheese in the house. Pecorino Romano. Even a hard Asiago. But that's all right. We'll use a little of this. Now, let's give this a whiz. And let me get the extra virgin. And let's whiz it up a little. See what we got here. Oh yeah. Puree of Swiss chard. Oh, it's fantastic. The cheese just topped it off. All right, let me move the Cuisinart and show you what we're doing with this. Okay, what are we doing here? First thing we're doing is I'm putting the Breville on. And I'm going to put it on bake 350. Okay, I'm going to go 365. Put it nice and hot. Put the shelf down on bake mode. Not going to show you the Breville because it needs a good cleaning. But what are we doing with this Swiss chard? Yesterday I was at the market, picked up a few things, one of which were these organic portobello. Beautiful. We're going to have some stuffed mushroom. Okay, so let me clean these up a little. We'll pop the stem out. Now technically what I should have done, alright, it's too late now. I want to get this moving. I should have chopped all these stems very finely and this little fluff and added it to the Swiss chard. But I will save it for another use. I will not let that go to waste. Nice meaty stems in this. They would have been brilliant inside the thing. I just thought of it now. I'm going to leave the ribs and everything. Remember, don't wash your mushrooms and just give them the outside a nice dry clean up. These are organic. So I'm not too worried about toxins on the outside or any of that. I just want to get some of the, they're not even dirty. Okay, let's stuff them up. Swiss chard. All right, let's stuff these beauties. I got to do what my Graham taught me to do. Always, when you're baking mushrooms, you want that gorgeous texture. Olive oil. Olive oil. Do the whole thing, inside and out. Extra virgin. It soaks it right in like a sponge. All right. Now I'm going to stuff them. Swiss chard, shallot, garlic mixture here. Let me back off. Hold on. Okay. Wanted to make sure I was in frame. You know me. Always bumbling. Now, I have made Swiss chard stuffed mushrooms in the past with the smaller, button mushrooms. Not the exact same recipe. I'm just winging this today. It's what I had from the gardens. The shallot, the garlic. I mean, how can you go wrong? And this, I mean, look at these things. I might be eating one of these now and one later on. Yeah. Knowing me. When something tastes good, it's disappearing. But they do look pretty big and pretty meaty, so we'll see. Oh. Oh. That's just the chard. That's just the veg. No toppings, no seasoning. We are going to add. But first, Let me put this in the Breville for about 15-20 minutes, and then I'll show you what we're going to do. I'm going to head back outside and get some stuff done, but I'll bake these up. See you soon. All right, the mushrooms have about 10 minutes left, but we are going to take them out. We're going to top them. I made some baguettes a couple weeks ago, and guests showed up with also beautiful baguettes. So needless to say, I had a lot of bread left over in the freezer, on the counter. So I made these breadcrumbs. So let's take, these are just plain baguette that I toasted off in this cast iron pan, and then when that came off, I toasted these pignoli nuts. So they're just plain breadcrumbs, but let's add a little of dried oregano. Similar to the breadcrumbs I always make, but a little bit less seasoned. I'm not going to go the full gamut with the onion powder, garlic powder, because there's so much flavor in those mushrooms. We do want general seasoning though, salt and pepper and oregano, and I'll try to squeeze the last remaining bits out of this Parmesan before I get a new block. All right, let's pull the mushrooms out. Let's see what we got here, QC. Perfect. Toasting them does a lot. Same with the pignoli. You have to toast these. Just brings those oils to the surface. All right, let me get the mushrooms out. They look fantastic. Fair warning, they're not the most beautiful, color runs or anything like that. Let me get them in frame for you. A little dark and ominous looking, but they are gonna be good. Let's put a little breadcrumb on each one. Got a little breadcrumb left over. I might do some shrimp later. Let's take the pignoli. I'm going to kind of press them in so they don't fall off too easily. Toasted pignoli. I got these for the surprise. I told you there's going to be a non-garden episode coming up, something I've been waiting a long time to do. And I got these and some other things for that. And that is coming up real soon. All right, just a touch of the extra virgin on top to broil them with. And let's pop them back in, but I'm going to change bake mode to broil. Move the shelf up to the top. I've got to be careful here with these because the breadcrumb and the pignoli are already toasted. I don't want to burn them. This is going to be maybe a minute. So I'll turn off the camera, get my plate ready. See you in a minute or two. Okay, the time has come. I'm off the Breville. I can hear them sizzling in there. I'm going to pull it out. And I'm just going to take one over. They look pretty beefy. I got a feeling I'm saving one for later. I got a guest coming down for some falanghine, and maybe we'll split that other one in half, among other things. Organic portobello mushroom, stuffed with our fresh picked Swiss chard, sauteed with Dutch red onion, Dutch red shallot, I should say, 20-25 garlic, lemon juice, red wine vinegar. We pulsed it up. They are hot. Stuffed our portobello. Then topped it with toasted breadcrumb, seasoned with a little bit of dried oregano, salt and pepper, a little Parmesan cheese, and toasted pignoli nuts. Let's give this a taste. Oh man, Unbelievable. First bite of food of the day, 12:15. I didn't even have my proverbial piece of fruit in the morning. I generally start with an orange or a peach or a banana or something. Nothing. The mushroom itself is fantastic. I love portobello. Meaty, beefy, full of flavor. The fact that they're organic makes me feel good. And everything across from my yard is, nothing gets sprayed on them. Actually, not true, full disclosure. I do use some neem oil on some things in the spring, but everything I use, I won't use any, non-food safe pesticides. I'd rather just fight with the bugs. The stuffing is out of this world. Swiss chard. A great summer vegetable, grows right through the heat. I'll see you all for the next episode.
Come on.